Just when I was out of this franchise, Disney pulls me back in. But I love the birthday gift you gave me anyway. Deadpool and Wolverine is about Deadpool being pulled from his quiet life by the Time Variance Authority and has to team up with Wolverine to save Deadpool's universe. Hello and welcome back to another review from HLHReviews. Today I will be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine, the sequel to Deadpool 2, the 35th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and technically the 14th film in the X-Men franchise. Just to give you guys a bit of a background as usual, I do have some early, vague memories of the first three X-Men films, but when I prepared myself for this movie, the rest of the franchise was a first-time watch, including Deadpool's 1 and 2. And just to let you guys know what was going on behind the scenes a little bit, I did want to do like a short review series on the first two Deadpool movies, but technical limitations held me back, so I'm going to save, I'll save those movies and, the rest of this franchise whenever we get, the X-Men in the MCU. But for right now, I just want to talk about my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, and then in the next day or so, you're going to get my ranking of the X-Men franchise. After seeing the teaser for this film, I immediately knew that I had to kick my ass into gear by watching the rest of this franchise, and that's what I did basically last month. I watched, this franchise from the original X-Men all the way to Deadpool 2. After seeing Logan, just what a great movie that was, I got immediately worried about, seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, because I thought that they ended his character perfectly in that film. But honestly, the idea of seeing him anyway in this role, I don't think that's something that's ever going to get old. I enjoyed the first two Deadpool films, especially with how funny the Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson Deadpool, and no, we're not talking about the shitty one that we got in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Ugh. But I really did enjoy the first two Deadpool films, especially with how funny, Wade Wilson was. And, you get, his character development, throughout those first two movies. And, especially with how much he does fourth wall breaks that genuinely get me a good laugh. And he doesn't do it in a way where it constantly takes out of what the fuck you're watching. So, with all that out of the way, I walked into this with tempered expectations, excited, but just willing to have a good time of seeing Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up together. Well, it delivers that, and in much more than spades, and we're going to talk about it. We're starting this review off by gobbling up the buckets of popcorn. This was one of the most fun experiences with a superhero film, especially from the MCU, that I've had in a long time. It's really exciting to watch Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool being the same funny and potty-mouthed, just being potty-mouthed as ever as he was in the first two Deadpool films, and was thankfully not watered down just to fit in Disney's criteria, thank God.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
God, please! Oh my God! The same goes for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who gives this great performance, as he's always been doing that for almost 25 years at this point. Even though it's not the same character as we saw from the original X-Men all the way until Logan, he has this really good chemistry with Deadpool, both in the humor as well as in the action.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback? Go fuck yourself. Shake on it. Ah! Nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
And I especially like seeing the development that this version of Wolverine goes through in the film, as it did remind me of the development of the character that we got in Logan, and even in some cases, the Wolverine. Though, again, this is a different variation on that character, and it's not the same. Even though, again, it's a different variation on the character and not, the same one that we got in Logan and the Wolverine. The action scenes that Sean Levy gives us in this film is definitely one of the most fun I've had in a superhero film. The film opens up with this great opening action scene of Deadpool fighting the Time Variance Authority soldiers. And this is all going on while NSYNC's Bye 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 is playing in the background. Like, it gave me a good laugh and made me excited for what the hell was going to come next in the film. You get some great cameos in this movie, which I sadly got spoiled to shit. Like, I just want to, give this message. Thank you to all of you assholes at San Diego Comic-Con and even my Twitter homepage, because you never have fucking subtleness whatsoever for people like me. But, I still enjoy the cameos that we get in the movie. They're not the main stars whatsoever, but, just like the ones that we got in Spider-Man No Way Home, they do have a narrative purpose, and, they're not there just for the sake of fans pointing like, oh, look who it is. Now, I am going to get into spoiler territory here, so I'm sorry, but, just pause the video and, just come back after you're done watching the movie. But it was fun to see Chris Evans's Johnny Storm, from the Fantastic Four movie duology that I grew up with. You also get Jennifer Garner's Elektra, as well as Channing Tatum as Gambit, which I was confused as to why he was playing Gambit, but I did, looked up, and it's, basically what happened is that 20th Century Fox had a Gambit film in development that Tatum was casted to play as the character, but the film just never got made because the X-Men characters would be bought during the acquisition between Fox and Disney. But the two cameos that got me excited the most was seeing Wesley Snipes' Blade and, just seeing X-23 or Laura from Logan. That just put a huge smile on my face because, man, I loved her character in that film. And, she does great in this movie as she did in Logan. Also similar to Spider-Man No Way Home, feeling like an epilogue or a goodbye to both the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and their respective villains, this one truly felt like it was a goodbye to the 20th Century Fox era of Marvel movies. You can tell from the characters that they brought in here that I mentioned, as well as some other characters from the Fox X-Men films, and what they specifically do in the end credits. This generally feels like an epilogue to that era of Marvel. It also leaves you with this heartwarming feeling that this will probably be the last time we'll see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Yes, it was perfectly ended with Logan, but if this is genuinely going to be the last time we'll see him as the character, you know what? I'm glad it ends here. It's been fun seeing this guy play the character for almost 25 years. All I'm going to say is whoever plays this character for the MCU's version of the X-Men, God, is that going to be some big shoes to fill. Now let's eat the gas station burrito. That will probably give me the shits afterwards. The only thing that I'm in the middle with is its villains. You have the main villain in Cassandra Nova, who is the twin sister of Charles Xavier, and she intends on using the Time Ripper that the Time Variance Authority invented to destroy all universes except the Void, which is where she lives in. And then you have Mr. Paradox, who is a Time Variance Authority agent that wants to use the Time Ripper to just simply destroy Deadpool's universe. While they do serve, their purpose in the film's narrative, they didn't really stood out all of that much to me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them or anything that's badly written about them, but they serve the purpose for the film's narrative and just not much more beyond that. In fact, if I were to include these guys in a ranking of villains in the X-Men franchise, they would definitely be somewhere near the bottom, as there's not much about either of these two characters that stood out to me all that much. In conclusion though, Deadpool and Wolverine is the most fun I've had with the superhero film, especially with the MCU. If you're a huge fan of Deadpool, as well as Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, you're definitely going to walk out excited and can't wait to experience it again. To wrap this up with my rating, Deadpool and Wolverine will make you excited with the chemistry of the lead duo, and leave you with a heartwarming farewell to the 20th Century Fox era of Marvel and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.